everyone. Welcome to this session of Chat with Hatt. So today we're going to dive into a subject that is very sensitive and it's very near and dear to my heart. It's been a difficult year for a lot of people, and I'm going to say that our profession has not been immune to that at all. Something I'm going to talk about is called compassion fatigue in the veterinary industry. Compassion fatigue is actually a widespread phenomenon for the entire healthcare industry, or any industry that requires empathy as a fundamental perspective and position to be successful when you're caring for others. I did have Google go ahead and give me some definitions because I want to highlight the difference between the two. So for compassion fatigue, what we see in veterinary medicine is the result of taking on an emotional burden of a sad or bad thing that's happened to a pet. It is a form of mental trauma that can result in a dulling or an ability to feel and care for others in our lives. This is different from burnout. Okay, burnout is more the emotional residue and strain of just being exposed to those that have a traumatic event. So it's a result of stress from what we do. Okay, burnout is more emotional, and physical exhaustion is something that you feel when you just feel like you can't control things. This last year, if any of you have felt that way, it's been very difficult in our industry also. And so many practice owners have had a lot of employee turnover because clients are anxious, they're nervous, and then they resort to a high level of impatience, name calling, very antagonistic communication. And when you have a person that is receiving that day in and day out all day, when they came into work that day with the intent to help, becomes very difficult. Suicide rates, honestly, have escalated this last year in our profession because it has felt more and more like no matter what I do, I'm not good enough. No matter what I do, I can't help enough. Why is this person so mad at me? Why is this person accusing me? Accusations that have come into the veterinary industry have been, you don't care, or you're all about the money. And that's a very difficult accusation to receive. To give you a little bit of perspective, as a veterinarian, especially as a general practitioner, you are a pharmacist, you are a dentist, you are a radiologist, you are a therapist, you are a surgeon, you are a pediatrician for those pets, because our animals can't talk, right? That's 6 different professions, which in the human field, one species, the human field, have their own salary for all of those. All right. It takes just as long to get through medical school as it does veterinary school. There are internships and residencies that are involved, and there's a huge amount of student debt. Okay. So in those 6 jobs that the human profession has a very nice salary for each of those jobs, as a general practitioner, there's only one. So no, we aren't in it for the money. Okay, a lot of folks will enter the profession because they love animals and they love people, and they are dealing with student loan debt for the majority of their career. We have had our support system, such as our technicians and our receptionists, say, my goodness, I can make just as much money in the fast food industry flipping burgers than dealing with this. With the client that's angry, with the client that is accusing me that I don't care. I'm dealing with one client that's just lost a pet, and then the next one is a vaccine appointment. So it's this emotional roller coaster of up and down. Okay, I have had personally noticed colleagues that have left the profession altogether due to just the lack of support, and to have to deal with these constant accusations all the time, where they're feeling like, what's the point? Why should I bother? I would rather take an even lower paying job and be appreciated. And so I think as we start to reopen, as we start to get back to work, and we hear coined phrases like the new normal, we don't want compassion fatigue in veterinary medicine to be the new normal. There's a huge deficit now even for doctors to even get hired, because why would they want to come into such a hostile work environment to automatically be accused of something they're not? Just as a word of advice, as you're going into these situations, consider the double-edged sword. I don't ever go into an urgent care facility and complain that they're 45 minutes late for my appointment and insist on a free exam and a nail trim, for example. Or insist on free services of some kind because the appointment that I scheduled has now inconvenienced me because it's so much later. We don't like that you have to wait. We don't like that your pet is really sick and it's difficult to afford because you've lost your job. We don't like that fees have to be what they are so that we can continue to have supplies available for your pets. We don't like that. We're still human, right? We're daughters, we're mothers, we're sisters, we're spouses, we're partners, we're friends. And so to try to collaborate and remember that having a job that has empathy and being in the service industry doesn't necessarily warrant the right to be accused and emotionally beat up every day because of the stresses that you may have. And so we've lost friends and we've lost colleagues because folks didn't have the presence of mind to realize that they might be the 10th or 20th or 40th person that day to tell them they didn't care. So it's not a matter of wanting to attack a conscience. It's something to remember that if you yourself woke up every day knowing that you want to do good, and then being told that no matter what you do, it's not good enough, it's not a good feeling to have. So as you get out there, say thank you to your service providers, whether it is a nurse, it is a dentist, it is your veterinarian, it's the receptionist in that area. You don't know the kind of day they've had. You don't know what phone calls they've answered, and you don't know the struggles that they are having at home. So be aware of those things, because you could be a key component that makes that person get up the next day knowing today was okay because somebody said thank you. So I'm going to get up tomorrow and do this again and do my very best. That way you can help prevent the burnout, and I pray prevent compassion fatigue in our industry. Thanks for joining me with Chat with Hatt today. Sorry to bring you down with such a heavy, sensitive subject. However, it's one that I think is really important. We're a very empathetic crew. We're a very empathetic industry, and we love taking care of your pets, and there need to be more of us. We still want to continue to be the heroes for your children that want to be veterinarians someday, and we want to be able to tell them that it's an awesome, awesome profession, because it is. It's phenomenal, but there is a component of responsibility and care in how you communicate to those people that are up late actually, and are returning those phone calls, handling those emails at 10 o'clock at night to make sure that you get the answers that you need to take care of your pet the best way. We do care, and I really appreciate how much you care about us. See you later.